Yeah, I want to start like this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the first official episode of Work Woman. It is not supposed to be in this house. We were going to shoot this entire thing in the studio, but we had some last minute changes. And what just happened, that was pretty funny, is the lawnmower just went right across this side of the house. And he looked at us and he left, but we were just like, should we keep going or should we not keep going? And we decided not to keep going. But this was happened like 20 seconds ago, so I feel like we kept going. So this is a brand new podcast. I actually recorded the first 4 episodes a while back and was going to launch this earlier, but the timing didn't feel quite right. And I think quite a few business owners out there can appreciate that, where you created all of this content, you had all of these things that were in place, and all of a sudden every single thing that you had planned needed to be adjusted because circumstances changed. So how do you make an adjustment? How do you make a change? How do you start with something that isn't perfect when you had the perfect plan in mind? But all of the factors around you changed. What's funny enough is the very first episode of what was going to be this podcast is called Start Messy. And it was just about the idea of starting messy, starting from a place where you don't exactly know what the outcome is going to look like. And even though I'm not naming this episode Start Messy, there couldn't be a more perfect way to acknowledge just how messy things are right now. Things are not in some perfect little box where we're hitting all our targets and everything is going exactly as planned. And our business is a little off from where we projected it to be. I'm certain that you're as likely as to. And so with that, in order to make a change, in order to start messy, you just have to start, you have to create the resources, the time, and think differently with the times that are presently happening. So for this episode and for the next few episodes, I want to make Work Woman all about how to navigate the workplace and how to level up in your career. I want to be able to give you tips and tools and resources and the things that we're giving, the businesses that we work with at Cardone Ventures, and the things that we're giving our teams, and make it just accessible to you. I think that this is a huge part of content that we just never really share. I kind of sometimes have left it to Brandon to do this, but then I've really just stayed silent because I've been so busy in the day-to-day. And over the last few weeks, I have been working 12 or 14, sometimes 15-hour days, just getting caught up in order to restructure things so that now I can start having a little bit more breathing room to do things like this. But that's part of it, is that this was not a priority, me creating podcast content, or launching a new podcast was not a priority, because priorities shift. And if you're a business owner out there, I know that you feel that you know that things don't always go as planned. So I want to walk you through some of the things that we're doing, some of the things I'm doing. I'm going to start today's episode. I'm going to make today's episode about what I'm personally doing to be the very best version of myself. Some of the episodes will be talking about what you should be doing with your pricing and how you should be looking at your team members and the planning process. If you are in a position where you have to make tough decisions with team members, how you should be looking at structuring your finances and potentially be able to leverage different opportunities that are available to you. But today I want to keep it close to home. Quite literally, we are in my home right now with the immediate changes that I've made recently. So stiffening discipline. So when challenges come up, I don't think that I would have known what to do if it wasn't for the Cardone community. I think I would have probably responded in a way that seemed quote unquote normal, binge watching, Netflix, just getting wrapped up in everything that's going on and taking the position of being a victim in situations instead of choosing to use challenges as something that's. And not to say that those things can be okay in moderation, but those are not the ways that you cope with situations if you're thinking about it from the perspective of who do I want to be and who do I need to be? How can I use this as my opportunity to fundamentally change everything that I want to change in my life in order to use it to catapult me to this next level? So with that, some of the things that I've decided to do around this idea of stiffening discipline. So I was already at a pretty good rate before we have a family interruption. Oh, well, I want to say hi, just come in, just come in. Brandon just came in. He doesn't want to walk that way, but he's already Like, he doesn't get that this is just going to be what it is. All right. Well, he does not want to say hi. Brandon's writing a book. Did he shut the door? At least he shut the door, stiffening discipline back to that. So I wanted to make a very conscious decision, and that was to entirely use my time to be a different person and a better version of myself, and not let things happen to me, but to use them to let them happen for me. And if that's one thing, if that's one sentiment that I could share with anybody who listens and consumes my content, it is, how can you use whatever you're facing to make it happen for you? How can you latch on to the opportunity that it's creating? It is not creating an opportunity for everybody, but that is a choice that you get to make if it's happening for you or if it's happening to you. And if it's going to happen to you, then continue to watch Netflix, continue to smoke or drink too much or do things in order to avoid what's actually going on, like move forward with that. But if you're the type of person that's trying to look at this to say, how can I actually catapult myself? Choosing to stiffen your discipline right now is the only way that you are going to come out stronger. And the reason for that is, if you don't choose that now, if you don't be that person now, how will you make that change later? How will you have set yourself up for what you're already not willing to commit to at this moment? If you choose to just let yourself go a little bit, you are going to be at a loss. Don't let yourself take the loss. Right now, there will be enough losses that all of us are going to take in a variety of areas. Don't let yourself be somebody who's contributing to the losses. Contribute to the gains. So sure, these losses are going to hit, these losses are going to happen, but what you're going to allow yourself to do is say, but I gained this on the other side. So for me, I think I've honestly lost track, because I'm not counting any longer how long I've made this change. Like, I've indefinitely made a change in my life, and I've made this change in 5 different T areas. But it's funny, I remember listening to an audiobook a few years ago where a guy was talking about smokers, and he said, people who give up smoking, if you've really given it up, don't continue to count the days, because it's not a part of you any longer. Like, you are no longer a smoker, you are just a person. So continuing to count makes it seem like there is an opportunity or a possibility to go back and to be that person again. But if you've really committed to not being a smoker and not being that person, the days are irrelevant, because that's not who you are any longer. It's not who defines you. And I feel like I have absolutely taken that mindset with these new habits that I've created. As many of you know, I have always struggled with falling asleep. I've always struggled with getting enough sleep, and I think it's something that mentally it's weakened me. It's always been that thing where I'm willing to be really disciplined and a whole bunch of areas. But my sleeping patterns is not one that I'm able to really commit to, and I made a sweeping change of being in bed every single night, including the weekends at 9:30. Like, without question, everybody in this house knows that I am upstairs by 9:00. I'm taking my makeup off, I'm getting ready, because that is part of the discipline that I need in my life right now to make sure that I feel every morning like I am winning and in control of my environment. So the things that I can control throughout the day continue to go up, instead of continuing to make me feel like I'm losing or I'm cheating myself or I'm not holding myself up as the person that I should be and can be. The second thing that I'm doing is waking up before the sunrise. So I go to bed by 9:30, and I am up before the sun rises every day. That includes weekends. That has been so helpful for me, because when I wake up in the morning and I see the darkness and I watch the sunrise, and I'm either working out or I'm taking a shower or I'm just mentally preparing myself, I feel stronger. Even though, like, I still fight those moments. This morning I woke up and it's like, I really want to go back to sleep. Nobody's going to know if I don't get up, and I can just continue to say that I'm doing all of these hard things, and nobody's going to know that this particular day I didn't do it. And as soon as I had that thought, that's like an old thought, as soon as that thought happened, I was like, nope, no way. That is why I need to wake up right now, because I don't want to be that person for myself. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I need to know that I can choose to do really hard things and that I can stay disciplined in the things that need to happen right now. So those are the first two. Has to do with morning, has to do with the evening. The third thing is I am now working out every single day. I was already like a 3 to 4 times a week kind of person, but every single day having the commitment to work out forces, that me time to move away from Instagram, to move away from TikTok. I have a very finite amount of time when I'm not working. Literally run or lift weights, maybe get like 45 minutes of loaf time, like if there might be a television show that we all get to watch together or we all get to make dinner together. But for the most part, adding the workout, the hour-long time frame every single day makes it so that I have to be active and I have to be spending my time doing something that's going to pull me forward, not add additional loaf time. So that's been incredibly helpful. And then the fourth thing that I'm doing is, this is more recent, this was in like last few days, but I'm drinking a gallon of water. Why I'm doing that? Because I can see every single day or every single hour as I'm making progress through this gallon, like, oh yes, I'm winning. It's creating this controllable environment around me every single day, every single hour, that I am winning and that I am in control and that I can set myself up for success. Because in a lot of areas, it's easy to feel like you can't do that. You might feel restricted in certain ways. You might feel like you can't control everything. So you have to be able to control your environment. The last thing that I'm doing every single day is training. I am doing at least 30 minutes of online training and learning. How many of you have ever bought a course where you were so excited about doing the course and you got 20% of the way through and you never finished it, and that skill set is now not something that you're an expert at? I've done it a million times, like I am the queen of buying courses or buying books and not finishing them. But what I recognize right now is I need to sharpen my skill set that I am bringing to the table. My skill set and my success is dependent upon me using my time wisely. If I am not feeling confident in an area, let's say I'm not feeling confident in sales, now is the time that I would be choosing to learn how I can sell and be applying that into my work. Like, what are the objections I'm going to hear? I'm going to hear price objections. I'm going to be confronted with people not feeling certain and people not feeling confident for what they should be buying. So how do I take that on and learn and practice and drill and rehearse for 30 minutes every single day right now, so it doesn't hit me like a ton of bricks down the road? Whatever my skill set will be, sharper, and I will be more prepared. I might not be fully prepared. I likely will never be able to be fully prepared, because the reality is there's always more to learn. If I think about my current level of skill set, and if you think about your competencies, where are you a little weak right now and where could you get stronger that would really catapult you? You have the time now. Is the time to take that time and actually use it for something that's going to be helpful for you to be able to recreate yourself and level up for many people. It's about continuously leveling up for me. I feel like I am constantly evolving in my role. And even though my core job hasn't changed, I am always looking to be better. I am as prepared as I could be, but there's always room for growth. So it's my responsibility as a leader to make sure that I'm preparing myself and I am learning and taking in the right data to be able to take each moment, take tomorrow, take the day after, and level up my skills to meet it with the best version of me to serve our team and also to serve our clients. And I urge you guys to do the exact thing. Use your time, use your time, use your time. If there's like one message right now that I'm just like hammering home with people, it's use your time and get creative with it. Like we have this opportunity. This opportunity is that we can be creative. We can choose to say, okay, how can I think about the way that I'm doing business a little bit differently in order to serve better, in order to meet the demands? People are still spending money. People have not stopped spending money. They're just spending their M money in different ways, and how do you attach yourself to those things? So how are you using your time? I urge you to use your time. I'd love to know how you are using your time. I am creating a calendar on my social accounts where I just track how I'm doing from an accountability standpoint. I'd love for you guys to join me in that. Some of you already have, which is so awesome to see other people holding themselves accountable to the same things or sometimes different things. But pick your things. Pick the things that you're going to do every single day to use your time to make it work for you, to make you better, to be able to use your time. And with that, have an amazing day, and I can't wait to catch up with you on the next Work Woman episode.